All right.
Hello.
Bullets. Boulettes. This is a Métis favorite across the homeland. There's so many different versions of it, so this is only one. It's usually served special holidays, New Year's Eve, or New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, all very big ones. It's typically made with a ground meat. It can be game meat, whatever you caught. Nowadays, it can be a mix between beef and pork like ours is today, or one or the other. So we have some water boiling right now. So we have about 2 cups in there, and then we'll do about another cup of the stock as well.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
So from the bones that we baked earlier today, we baked them until they were really brown and well done. And then we added water to them, and we got all the brown goodness out of them. And then we strained it, and here is the bone broth.
All right.
Okay, so we're gonna add the bone broth to the boiling water.
That's the heart and soul of the boulette here.
Yeah.
I have all our spices in there that we've had throughout the day. So we have bay leaves, a little bit of rosemary, some thyme, salt and pepper. So depending on the region you're in, the boulettes could be as big as my hand. They could be smaller than this. This is kind of midway in between. So almost like meatball, get a little flour on them, hold them together when they go into boil. We dust them off, and there we go. So we'll keep making these, and then we'll boil them. And after that, we'll add some diced potatoes and diced onions. And then we'll let it simmer for about an hour or so.
And the reason for rolling, as well as for rolling the meatballs into the flour, is to create a little bit of a thicker broth, so that it's not so thin.
So this would be served in a bowl, and then some people like to dip some bread in it or put crackers on it. It's a very
bannock.
Yeah, bannock in there, and it's a very homey type soup. Really good during the
Really hearty.
Yeah. One thing you do want to do when you make your stock, has lots of bone marrow and fat that comes out when we boil it. You definitely will want to let it cool and then scrape some of the fat off the top, unless you really like it really, really flavorful. So put it in there. Don't be afraid of it. Sometimes it bites back. It's okay. It's not going to hurt too much. You'll be all good. So we'll let that simmer, and then about like 30 minutes or so, 20 minutes, depending how it feels, just keep an eye on it. Then we'll add the potatoes and the onions. So we're adding in the potatoes and the onions, and everybody does it different. Some people have just potatoes, some people have celery in there. So, and it's also seasonal too. Maybe you'll have some root vegetables, but it's really just a plain and simple soup it's about the taste of the meat and the broth. So. And we're doing just a half version here, just because we have a smaller pot right now, and it will still just be as tasty.
It will.
So let that simmer a little bit, throw a lid on it, and we'll come back to that in about 20 minutes. All right, time to not plate up, bowl up the boulette.
Bowl up the boulette.
All right.
Bowl up the boulette.
We're ready for our boulettes. Let's see here. Ooh, gotta get a couple goodies in there. Ooh, nice and toasty. And when you plate up your boulette, sometimes there is a little bit of excess fat the day after it's cooled down. So you'll want to get some of those, scrape some of that off once it's been in the fridge overnight.
Slow broth now.
That's a lot of boulettes in there, but oof, nice. I really like boulette. It's something that feels really homey, and it's a really good winter meal that just makes you feel refreshed. So good for dipping too.
Good for dipping that bannock in.